Welcome back, everyone. Today we have another session of my first impressions. I just received another package with extremely rare antique vintage ingredients. And literally, when I got it, my hands were like shaking. I was so extremely excited, so happy, and I just couldn't hold myself. So let's go ahead and sniff it for the first time. I did open the bottles, so it will save us time, but I haven't smelled any of this yet closely. So, as we discussed before, aged oils are highly praised. Many ingredients they aged. Once they aged, they smell beautiful. They age beautifully. However, some might lose a lot of character. And we're gonna find out which of these oils improved in my eyes, according to my nose, and which of them might have lost some of their aspects and nuances. So let's go straight into it. The first is one of my favorite oils for the top notes. I used it a lot. You're talking Siberian musk, Russian musk, Atlantic ambergris. This is Siberian fir needle. This oil, in general, is so special to me. As you know, I'm from Russia. I'm from this beautiful, huge country that has a lot of nature and a lot of amazing places to offer. So when I smell something like this, fir, pine, cedar, I just literally transported into this forest, into this deep, deep forest. Since I've been very young, me and my grandfather used to go to the forest near our countryside looking for mushrooms, picking up mushrooms, and it was such an amazing time, such an amazing experience, beautiful memories. So this type of smell is so special to me. It literally transports me to this area, to that period of time, and it always brings positive emotions. So I cannot wait. I'm extremely excited to smell this. This one of the famous essential oil companies of that time. If you notice the cap, the shape of the bottle, its color, everything telling us that this is probably over 100 years old fir needle from Siberia. It's something I'm looking forward to so much. Wow. This oil, I can tell, definitely improved with age. The decades done an amazing job here by the grace of God Almighty. Fir needle always smell refreshing, always smell foresty, always smell so uplifting. This, however, it's a lot more settled. It's very dry and it's very, very complex. You have this softness to it, yet you're sniffing deeper and deeper, and it still offers a new tiny nuances here and there, just as you're looking through this huge tree and you see the needles one by one, and each one of them is kind of unique, and if you crush them in your hand between your fingers, you can smell this amazing refreshing type of smell. This is what I'm getting here. It's a lot smoother and a lot more settled comparing to the fresh oils that I experienced before. Some of the fresher oils, they have this camphoric, almost eucalyptus-like quality. They're a bit sharp at the top, and they sometimes not very appealing because of this slight sharpness. Once they settle, they smell much better, but at the beginning they are very, very sharp. They might be sharp. This, however, is something else. A lot of sweetness coming through now, almost like the woodiness. It's like not only the needles being distilled, but the actual wood and the branches, obviously. No one gonna pick up the needles one by one and distill them. Now the sweet woodiness coming through. It's amazing. I'm definitely going to use this in one of my upcoming compositions, and it definitely improved with age. This is clove oil. I just had another clove oil, a tiny amount over there. We tested it before, and I was extremely pleased and happy and excited because it became such a leathery, such a spicy and very beautiful smelling oil with age. So I definitely can tell now that the clove oil aged very nicely. So let's see this. As you can notice, the bottle is nearly full. It's extremely precious find. Wow. This oil aged in totally different direction. Comparing to my other oil that we smelled. I'm not getting any leathery accords here. Just a tiny bit at the background. Here in the front, it's got this huge sweetness. Wow, this clove type of sweetness that is usually coming only at the heart when you smell a freshly distilled clove oil. As we discussed before, you might get this buttery, oily, nutty type of texture, which is a bit off-putting, and it's not very pleasant, and it might ruin the composition if you overdose on clove. This has none of that. However, it has this amazing, huge sweetness, just like cinnamon, with a slight, dry, a little bit nutty type of smell, but nothing like the fresh oil. It's amazing. And this background, leathery, very dark, aged, dry type of leather. It's beautiful. Here, time has done an amazing job as well. The oil became much more sweeter, much more rounded, and comparing to the oil we smelled before, leathery nuances are not so much evident, but it's definitely something I will use. Another find, unbelievable. Lavender flowers. Just look at that. It says 9, 22, and 48. It might be from 1948 or maybe 1848. Who knows? According to the cap, as we discussed before, some people mentioned that this type of caps companies stopped using at 1930, around those times. But here we can see 48. I hope it's 1848. And I hope this oil not expired. Let's see. I will do more research in the future, obviously. Before using these oils, I will do research on the companies and try to find out the more accurate age of these oils. Wow. To be honest, I was prepared to be disappointed. When I was opening this bottle, I catch a whiff, and it was not a very pleasant smell. Slightly sour, slightly bitter. So I thought that's it. Probably this lavender oil expired. However, it probably was the air that had been trapped here. Somehow it went out, and the oil itself is something else. Honey sweetness, amazing honey sweetness, and this beautiful floral note. It's nothing like the regular lavender.